Hello everybody, Joel here from Golf Monthly. I hope you're well and you join me here on the 4th green at West Hill Golf Club, where I'm going to attempt to answer the question of whether this, the arm lock putting method, is the future of putting. Why do I ask that question? Well, we know Matt Kuchar has been using this method for a number of years and he's won on tour twice this year already using that method. But not only that, but some other high profile names have also started switching to this method. We know Bubba Watson started using it and Bryson DeChambeau has had a lot of success putting with this way. So maybe there's something in it. Is it something that you need to try? And maybe it's going to help you be a more consistent putter. That's what this video is going to aim to try and find out. If you're new to the Golf Monthly YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, because that way you won't miss any of our equipment review videos, and click the like button if you like what you're watching, and make sure you watch to the end, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on my take on this method. Is it something that you're keen to try? Is it something that you've considered? Or is it something that you think is a fad and you're just never going to try? It's just not something that you're interested in. I would love to hear from you. So the arm lock putter I'm going to be testing today is the Bettinardi Studio Stock 38 arm lock. Now this is very similar to the model that Matt Kuchar uses out on tour. It's got a single sight line here. You can see it's kind of this half moon, half mallet design. And the spec of this putter is understandably different to most putters. So it's an awful lot longer. This is 40 inches long. That comes as standard. It does also come in 41 and 42 inches of length. You've got a lambkin kind of cord style grip here, which is 15 inches longer, so a lot longer than traditional putter grips. And it comes with 5 degrees of loft. Normally putters are around the 3 degrees of loft mark. This comes in 5, but you can have anything from 3 all the way up to 7, depending on your preference. So it's spec'd a lot differently, and I'm going to give it a try here on the putting green from different lengths to see if it's going to improve my putting. So let's find out if it's going to work for me. Oh, please go in. That's got chances. Chances. Oh, not bad for the first 2 attempts ever with an arm lock putter. I've nearly holed in the first 2 from about 40 feet. So first impressions are there could be something in this. Right, so I've hit 5 shots off the bat from about 40 feet. 2 of them nearly went in. They're all basically within gimme range. So initial impressions are, seems relatively easy to control the speed and the line, but is it the case on short putts? We have to find out. So the thing you kind of need to think about when using a putter like this is what you do with your right hand and how you hold it, because when you think about it, your left arm is much more in control of the stroke and the right hand is much more passive. So you probably want to think about potentially changing your right hand grip. We've seen out on tour there's a whole host of different methods that people are using, whether it's the standard kind of method like that or people are going to the different claw options. So there's also sorts of different ways you could position that right hand on the grip to assist with this arm lock method, because that left arm, you know, is all basically one piece. It runs one straight line from your shoulder all the way down to the club head, and that's what's controlling the club head. The right hand is really kind of almost coming along for the ride. So have a think about, if you switch this method, how you're going to hold it with your right hand. It feels strange regardless whichever way you go, but for me I'm probably going to stick with the conventional method, but I'm definitely potentially going to try the claw grip just because it feels like that right arm is a bit more passive and less impactful on the stroke and the club face. So more food for thought, I think, further testing required. Right, okay, so I've finished testing the Bettinardi arm lock putter, and I can conclude first of all by saying there's definitely something in this. The sensation you get after a bit of practice is that everything is moving together in one piece. For me, it feels like there's less moving parts, which is a common fault of mine, in that my wrists do get a bit active and I struggle to control the club face. But with everything moving from this top of this left shoulder as one unit, and the right hand being a bit more passive, I do feel like I've got better control of the club face. And actually it didn't actually take me as long as I thought it would do to get used to using this method, especially from short range. I thought I'd be a bit all over the place, but actually once you get used to it and how you determine how you're going to hold it, the results were impressive, and I'm definitely considering switching to something like this. The only reason I wouldn't switch to this model in particular is because it's not spec'd exactly right for me. For me, it's a bit too short. I found myself gripping very low down to the grip. You know, this is 40 inches long. I'd probably go for a 41, maybe even a 42-inch putter length, because I feel like that is the most comfortable position for me to get it pushing against the inside of my forearm. The other thing that you kind of have to consciously be aware of is that you are almost pushing it against your forearm, and that does lead to some added tension in my wrist. I felt like I was constantly kind of pushing it up against my forearm. I felt like there's often occasions where it wanted to break away in that direction. So you do feel like you're pushing it initially to kind of get that pressure there, hold it against there and keep it in place, and that's obviously where you're going to get the most benefit from it. The other thing I found, obviously pushing against your forearm, is that this putter has more loft on it than a traditional putter, but I would want, I think, a bit more loft than this. So this is 5 degrees. I think I would need 6 or 7. There were some long putts here. Felt like the ball was getting into the ground, not popping out of its impression on the greens. And you know, I like to see a little bit of loft on my putter. I'm definitely not getting that with the amount of shaft lean you have to have when using a putter like this. Yeah, I feel like I could have maybe 1 or 2 extra degrees of loft on there. But all in all, there's definitely something in this. It's not something I'm going to dismiss. I'm going to look into it a bit more, maybe get this putter modified to suit my height a little bit more, because I do feel like I've been more consistent overall with this method than I have been with my current model. Maybe I'm not putting especially well with my traditional length blade at the moment, which might contribute to the way I'm feeling over this one, but for me it does feel a bit more steady, a bit more consistent on different lengths of putt. So if you're looking for a bit more consistency, I really do recommend you give this arm lock method a try. You might feel like everything's moving together in one unit a bit more frequently, and you know, this Bettinardi model in particular was very impressive. I think it looks great. It's a nice single sight line to help with alignment, and you've got these FIT face milling on here and the grooves, which help get the ball rolling over end a little bit earlier and give you really good feel and feedback as well. So if you like the video, we'd love to hear from you, so click the like button and comment on the video. Did you find this video helpful, and are you interested in trying the arm lock method? We'd love to hear from you. But for now, from West Hill Golf Club, it's goodbye.